All right, people, welcome to Peeps Creek, the cafe where you can order your favorite drink, sit at our table, and listen to some slightly intense but definitely worthwhile conversations. A podcast where you can drink, listen, and converse. Today, I am joined in the cafe by Davion. To my left, say hello, Davion.
Hi.
And to my right, I am joined by
Christian.
All right, so you know here at Peeps Creek Cafe, we always have conversations that is centered around drinking some kind of beverage. I am currently drinking what I normally drink, which is Bullet with some splash of fresh lime juice and lemon juice. Davion, what are you drinking on at the cafe today?
Shirley Temple.
He is drinking a Shirley Temple that is non-alcoholic. And Christian, what are you drinking on?
Tequila and ginger ale.
Tequila and ginger ale. Remember, if you are over the age of 21, and you can grab your favorite adult beverage, and if you are under the age of 21, you can buy some water, some tea, some coffee, some apple juice, or maybe some lemonade. All right. All right, so let's get into the conversation.
So, what's on the menu today at Peeps Creek?
Hot stuff coming up.
All right, so on the menu today is part 2 of These People Crazy. And we left off on part 1. We were getting into starting the character of Rick. I think his name is Rick Kirkham, right?
Yeah.
He was like the fake reality TV star.
I don't think it was fake. I think it was an actual.
I haven't seen any kind of episodes he produced. He was trying to create a...
Did you look for him?
I did. I couldn't find anything. But he was doing a reality show for Joe the Exotic. Okay. But before we go there, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. So, as we stated the last episode, we are still in the midst of Corona. The person in the White House has indicated that the social distancing should continue until the end of April. Washington, D.C., where I work, has decided that it would close pretty much all of its businesses at least until April the 24th. And more than likely, that's going to be extended. And so that is causing people to get a little stir crazy. And that actually happened with 2 of the guests who are here today. We recorded our first episode, and then both of them decided they just want to randomly do things with their hair. Davion, what did you decide to do with your hair?
Get waves, but now I'm bald.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Whose fault is that?
Wait.
My dad's him.
Wait, what happened? I'm sorry, wait.
I wanted to get waves. I told you what length to cut it, and now I'm bald.
So not necessarily. I don't agree with that perspective. You asked me to cut your hair.
I said 5 times, don't give me a stubble. Don't go below a stubble. And now what am I? Bald.
No, you're not bald.
I am bald. I am bald.
You asked for a haircut.
Compared to my beautiful hair I used to have, compared to you, I'm bald.
Okay, but here's the thing. Let me just tell you, okay?
You guys are the same.
No, the bottom line is
Exactly.
you didn't pay.
Bald. I'm bald.
You didn't pay for the services. I gave you the free haircut. You asked for a free haircut. I gave you that. It's going to grow out beautifully.
And I took advantage of it, so you should have cut it at the same length.
Yeah, okay. So he decided like 3 o'clock in the morning, he wanted to cut off all his hair. So I cut it off. I think it looks good personally. Like, I feel like I should have Dad. What's that award of the year?
No.
What you think, Chris? The hair don't look that bad.
It doesn't look that bad.
Exactly.
It'll
You didn't
grow
even
back.
give me an edge up.
Well, I'm going to do that again tomorrow.
You said that 2 days ago.
Well,
You
I was
said that
busy.
last night.
I was busy. Okay, and so then Christian decided that he wanted to go and change his hair color. So what did you do, sir?
I went blonde.
You went blonde. Did you do it yourself?
No.
You didn't, right? So you decided that you wanted to go out into Coronaville, go to a hairstylist to get your hair done.
It was my aunt. In her basement, she has a salon down there. Her salons are closed in DC and Springfield, so she has like a home salon. and it was just us.
How many people were there?
Just me, her, and Wendy, my other friend.
Okay. When you went in, did you get sprayed down? Did you wipe down things? Did you see her wipe down in front of you?
She cleaned her blades. She wore gloves the whole time, and I did use hand sanitizer.
Okay. Well, my hair is still the same. I still cut my hair completely off. Bald.
Why? Why?
Because I look good at it. All right, moving on. So, a lot of people are also engaging in virtual happy hour. So, Davion, you can't really participate in that. Have you, Christian, engaged in a virtual happy hour?
No,
Are you going to do one?
probably not.
Why not? It's like something new to try. It's a new venture. Like, why not? Are you not going to try to do it?
It's just not my thing.
Okay, so my first one is going to be on Thursday. I'm super excited. So I only know one of the one of the individuals at the happy hour, but I'm just going to crash their happy hour. But I don't know if we're using FaceTime or if we're using House Party app or if we're using Zoom. My fraternity brother, though,
It's probably Zoom.
No, I don't know. These people, they're not technologically inclined. So I think they're just going to use FaceTime because you can do multiple people on FaceTime. But my fraternity brother did Zoom, and he's going to invite me to his happy hour. But not to steal his friend's perspective, but they did this like bar hopping virtual happy hour, which I thought was pretty cool, where they would set drinks up in different parts of the house. And they would say, okay, we're going to switch bars. And then they would go and move to a different part of the house as if they're like bar hopping. And they would take another drink. And then they would engage in more like happy hour conversation. And it would go on and on and on. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, it gives you the perception like you are bar hopping.
Did everyone have different stations in their house?
Yeah, everyone created like drinks in different rooms of their house. And when they say, okay, we switching bars, they moved to that different room in their home with the house, which would be consistent with like
That's nice.
the bar hop. So I thought that was pretty good. Okay, so Davion, you and I have engaged in working out together during this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so for the first time, you and I,
That was an accident.
I don't even know why you have that coming on every night at this time. It's so stupid.
Accident. I accidentally set it off when I was at mom's
But why
house.
can't you just accidentally turn it off?
Because I put it as every day and I keep on
Talk on the
forgetting.
mic,
I
'cause
keep
you're
on
pissing me off.
forgetting.
This is what Corona do. Corona make you beat your kids, people. Don't do it.
You've been doing that before.
Oh, my God. Okay, so we started running, right? We ran the first time together the other day. We did 4 miles. How do you think you did?
Well, I didn't do 4 miles. I got 3.88.
Do you think that you ran a good portion of the time?
Yeah, maybe half. And
'Cause-
then walked that long trail.
Because I know I kept saying, come on, let's go screaming down the street. And what were you doing?
That just influences me to not run.
Why?
Because why are you trying to talk to me while I'm running?
Because you're walking and I'm running.
But I'm in the zone.
You're not in the zone walking.
If you let me do me like I let you do you, you'll see how improvement happens.
And then, as your father, what if someone came out of the woods, grabbed you, and took you? And if I'm a mile ahead of you, I wouldn't know until I realize I check your iPhone. Either your iPhone signal is off, your location is off, or I don't find you. So I have to be cognizant of where you are. I'm sorry?
They're not taking me.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't understand, like, me being a parent, I have to think about all those things. So that's why, you need to keep
Is this
up.
for real or just for show for the podcast?
No, this is real. That's why. Or else I would have left. Why you think I kept coming back and screaming?
You did leave a big portion.
Oh my freaking God, that is a lie. I ran a little bit ahead of you. I ran
Say
back.
wallahi.
I ran. You said what?
Say wallahi right now.
What's the wallahi?
Arabic.
Oh boy, get out of
It's
here!
like,
I don't
I
speak
swear.
that. Wallahi. I swear to God. Yes, it's accurate.
Mashallah.
All right. So, and then we started doing weight training in the basement, right? And how did you like that?
Good, but I was tired.
You were tired that day. Your legs were hurting, right?
He was going up the stairs being like, oh, I'm sore.
He kept saying, "Oh my God, my ankles! You got an ankle brace?" I was like, "Boy, you just like."
No, my ankle really hurts.
Oh
though.
my God.
I don't know why.
That's because he's weak, people.
Look, it's bruised.
That's what happened when you don't exercise. Weak.
Were you wearing shoes?
Yeah, he was wearing shoes.
It's bruised.
He was wearing my Adidas running shoes. But anyhow, so we are going to now move to the actual menu, the topic, and that topic is discussing the Tiger King, right? These people crazy. And we are going to continue to talk about Kirk. And so we are going into part 2 now. All right.
Wait, you didn't talk about Kirk.
Who's Kirk?
Kirk was the producer. So in the beginning, he gets a reality show.
Who
Or
is
is
it?
that
Oh, Joe.
No,
Joe.
it's
Joe.
Kirkland.
Yeah, but Joe is seeking to do a reality show. No, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Kirkland wants to do a reality show.
And he found out about Joe. He was like, he's the perfect guy, this and that. And
Yeah.
then he goes, starts recording the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he records all the like crazy shit they do.
Right.
And in the contract, it states that like Kirkland basically owns every single thing they record.
Right. Right.
Even so, Joe has his own like internet show.
Right.
He owns everything he's recorded within the time he signed that contract.
Right. Including not only the things that Kirkland was doing for his own independent reality show, but Joe was like, okay, look, you could do that, but in the interim, I want you to also run and film my web series. But he didn't read the contract apparently, and he just signed on the dotted line. And so Kirkland basically says, not only do I own what I came in here to film, but any fucking thing that I film for you, I own. Right? So, there was a studio that they actually had on site at Joe's facility. You saw this episode, right?
Which one?
Where the studio blew up?
Yeah.
All right, so...
What caught on fire?
Well, go ahead and tell it then.
No, you tell it.
No, go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
got it.
Oh my God, Davion, go.
No, because I didn't really like understand how it caught on fire. Cause
Well, no one does because it's still a mystery.
exactly, so I don't know how to explain it because it just happened out of nowhere. They just brought it into the thing out of nowhere.
Which is why we say the documentary is all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, so at one point in the documentary, what happened is that there's the studio with Kirkland. Kirkland was filming this reality show. First of all, I don't even know what fucking reality show he thought he was doing, and where he thought he was going to get it shown, because I would not pay to watch that whatsoever. But putting that aside,
It was probably like Animal Planet.
fuck that. That shit was weird. No. Maybe. Anyhow, so the studio was on site at Joe's exotic camp or zoo.
Zoo.
And apparently one day what happened is that Joe went to a funeral in Chicago. Now, the documentary don't tell us who died, why he was there, how long he was there. Joe went to a funeral in Chicago, and while he was away, the studio blew up on fire, right? It caught on fire, blew up. Not only did it burn all of the equipment and all of the video footage that the guy Kirkland put all his time, effort, and money into recording for his reality TV show, but it also killed all of the crocodiles.
I think it was like 6 or 7 of them.
Right, and they were close to John Finley, which is the husband with no teeth, and he called them crocodilian. What did he call them? What's the plural word for crocodiles? I guess crocodile.
Crocodile or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So they burnt 7 or 6 of them, and all of the camera footage for the reality TV show. And the police or the firefighters fire department came out and said, this is definitely arson. Like, someone set the shit on fire. And there's video footage of someone walking towards the studio, but folks who work there are saying that it's the reality producer who's actually burnt it down. And then the husband was like, well, maybe it's Joe. What are you about to say?
About the message. So Carol had messaged, or Joe said that Carol had messaged Kirkland,
The producer.
the producer,
Right.
being like, I will pay you like $20,000 if you give me the tapes,
Right.
this and that, or of everything he's recorded.
Right.
And that's what Joe said. Right after that, that's when everything happened.
But this, I kind of believe it, honestly.
That he
I don't
might
think-
have done it.
I don't think Joe did it. I think the guy did it.
I think he probably did because he left right after that.
He did, and then he looks
Without
like...
a fight, he left all his shit. He was like, I have $20,000 in my pocket.
Well, he
Yeah.
didn't say that, but he
I know
left.
that.
He left it talking about. He was talking about he went through a mental breakdown. Like,
Yeah.
where's the documentation, bitch? I want to see the documentation. Like,
And then you don't hear anything about him the whole.
at all. Did you see that part, Devian?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? You believed him, or who you think burnt down, Joe or
producer.
why?
Because I don't really think Joe would like come back just to do that.
I think, yeah, I agree. I feel like he thought too highly of himself and his zoo to harm it. Like, I feel like he would do that if Carol had the studio and it burnt down. I would think, okay, Joe did it.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would fuck up his own shit for the purpose of that, because it wasn't like they got an insurance deal from it, because he had to pay someone to rebuild it, even though he didn't pay them the accurate amount. I mean, the full amount, right? But they decided to give it to him at a discounted rate. So it wasn't like he was making insurance money. At least that's not the way the documentary showed it. But there's something that happened a week before, though, before it broke down.
Oh yeah.
What
he
happened?
went to so Joe he got in a fight with the producer, and the producer was basically laid out saying that he owned every single footage that he's recorded. Joe in his personal internet show and in the reality TV show.
Basically, he was like, bitch, I own you.
Basically, yeah. And then so he went to his lawyer, and the lawyer was like, does he have any copies of everything, or the agreement and all the shows, this and that? And that's where it got sketchy, because a week after that, this whole thing went down.
The thing burned down.
And Kirkland basically said in the TV show, he's like, he hadn't backed up anything. He had no like copies of anything. So that was pretty sketchy. It was sus.
But I guess the footage for the documentary, where did that come from? Someone
I
outside?
don't think that the footage that Kirkland was filming was
shown.
the actual documentary on Netflix. I think that was Netflix shooting their own documentary. But I don't know how that would have like happened, because they went all the way back from like 2013.
Right. And they were showing footage of Kirkland filming.
Yeah.
Because remember, the thing is that Kirkland said, this fucker is so stupid. He thinks I'm filming a reality show for him. I have cameras to focus on him to keep him occupied, but then I have other cameras filming those cameras, because that's what I'm going to really use for the reality show. So, like, where did they get this footage from? And if Kirkland really spent all of his last money and invested in this project, do you think he would not back it up or not have access to this information? And would you really think, if he thought that, because everyone called Joe batshit crazy, do you think honestly that he would invest and keep everything on Joe's property and not have access to it? This sounds stupid and sketchy to me, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm just stupid.
At the same time, most of those Netflix shows, documentaries, are like, most of the scenes are staged. Like, when he gets arrested, that was a long time ago, they had to stage that.
Who got arrested? Joe?
Yeah, it was like in the middle of a parking lot.
Oh, I didn't see that. I fell asleep.
Oh
True.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that had to have been,
I was knocked out.
yeah.
It was like 6 officers, like SWAT team. 6 SWAT officers just tackled him down to the floor and arrested him.
Not Joe. Like, was he? Well, he does keep arms though.
He was basically just going. I don't know.
He was just
probably going back
walking.
to his car. Yeah, maybe.
He was just walking in like a road parking lot, and then 6 SWAT members just came and just tackled him to the floor and arrested him.
But did you think it was staged?
Yeah, I think it didn't look like real.
And why would they have the film anyway?
They had to have like staged it. He was telling them how it happened and.
Okay, so what I didn't know, and I call myself to be like informed in politics. What I didn't know is that Joe the Exotic ran as an independent in the 2016
elections, presidential elections.
He ran in the presidential election, and he said his one of his fucking ass was like, "I'm gay. I hold a gun, and I don't give a fuck about what no one said to me."
What was the other one? They were like, "I'm not gonna wear a suit.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna wear a
broke
suit.
as fuck as
I'm just as, oh yeah, he said, "I'm not gonna wear a suit. I'm broke as fuck because of that bitch in Florida." The lady in Florida is Carol because she sued him and she won $1 million. And basically anything that he owned, she had to give to her.
I don't think that's exactly how it went, but
It
was
did.
no, I think it was more. I don't think he mentioned Carol at all.
He did not say her name. He said that I'm broke as fuck because of that bitch in Florida.
No, I don't think he said that.
Yes, he did. Do you remember that part?
No, but I remember where he ran for governor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see your phone. Keep going. Keep talking.
No, I'm just saying that I don't think he said that.
He did. I'm about to find it right now.
He was like, "I'm just as broke as you guys" or something like that.
I'm about to tell you right now.
But he didn't mention Carol at all.
He didn't say her name.
He didn't.
He said that bitch in Florida because of bitch in Florida.
No, I don't think he said that. He couldn't have said that if he was trying to run for president.
He said that.
No, he did not.
That's why people loved him.
No, I don't think he said that.
That was episode 6 or 7.
6.
Okay. That he. Oh my God.
You're about to make me look for it.
I'm going to look at it because I know I'm fucking right. All right. So let's talk about Jeff Lowe while we look for this. Davion, do you remember who Jeff Lowe is?
No.
The guy who came in was allegedly supposed to save the world.
Who?
So he basically, after the whole Carol thing happened, Joe found Jeff Lowe, and he saw that he was rich. Apparently, he had a mansion. He had all these cars, this and that. He was into exotic animals, and he put his name, Jeff's name, on. Did he basically like sell him the thing? The zoo? Yeah, right?
Yeah, because he remember, so he was basically Joe was selling. Essentially what happened is this, like since the girl Carol sued him, what he would do is he would put the zoo in someone else's name. And so he tried to put it in his first husband name, John Finley, but actually it's not necessarily his first husband. He put it in John's name. Then he put it in his mom's name, and then he put it in this guy's name. But what they fail to realize is, like, if you have pending lawsuits and then that resolved, no matter who buys the company, that is going to transfer. So all the person has to do who's doing the suit is do an amendment and include that individual as a defendant. And so that's what they were doing. So Jeff Lowe came into the picture because he was like, I guess he felt like people felt like he had money, and you know what I'm talking about, right? The guy who was driving the Ferrari and the Hummer, the guy who was basically a snitch.
I fell asleep there in that part.
Oh my God, he was a snitch at the end. Do you not remember?
I was asleep.
Oh my God, y'all so weak. Do you remember?
What?
Jeff Lowe, boy.
Sorry, I'm trying to look for this video.
Don't look for the video. I'm looking for the video.
What aperture you're on?
Jesus Christ.
Alright,
We're
what
talking
was your
about Jeff
question?
Loeb.
I know. What was your question?
How did he come into the fray?
It was basically that after the whole Carol thing, he didn't have the means to pay the $1 million, and then he met Jeff. This and that. Jeff like flew them out, and I think it was like Joe and Travis that he flew out. They saw how extravagant his life was, and all the cars, all the money that he supposedly had. He provided Travis with all the drugs he wanted, and Joe was like fascinated by it at the time.
Right, because he thought he was
He could like save him basically.
right because he thought he was going to be deep pockets
Yeah.
for a lawsuit.
Yeah, and then he basically ended up putting Jeff's name in the, what would you call it, like the lease, or the
They did like a quick deed.
the deed of the zoo, and
Mhm.
Jeff ended up being the owner officially of the thing, but Joe still kept it running.
Right.
And I don't know, I feel like Jeff was also like, he was a con artist. So he
Jeff was full of shit.
yeah, he only cared about himself and all his wives.
Wives.
I got the video.
Which episode is it?
I found it on YouTube. He was like, I am here, wait, let me just,
Wait,
I am not cutting my hair.
are we gonna get copyrighted for this?
no, put it on that. Fuck that. It's on YouTube.
My name's Joe Exotic, otherwise known as Joseph Maldonado, and I am running for President of the United States for 2016. First thing is, I am not cutting my hair. I'm not changing the way I dress. I refuse to wear a suit.
That's him singing.
I am broke as I have a judgment against me from some bitch down there in Florida.
See, I told you.
Okay.
He said, I'm running for president. I'm broke as shit. This bitch got me for a judgment down there in Florida.
I was mostly focused on the I'm broke as shit part. I was like, wow, you do want to relate to the people.
Yeah, he did say that. And then of course, he didn't win, right? Somebody else won. And then he ran for Oklahoma governor after that, and he didn't win that either. Okay, so let's talk about where Joe is now. But before we go there, let's talk about the Walmart meat program.
Oh.
Do you remember that part?
Yeah, it's in a couple episodes. He
That's
basically,
kind of annoying.
I mean, it wasn't annoying when it was going all to the animals, because, I mean, who cares? Like,
What was
it wasn't all expired.
So the Walmart meat program was this. I guess Walmart was having meat, and that was either expired, meaning it already the expiration date has come and gone, or it was in the process of expiring. And I suspect that it would only be within a couple of hours or a day or two, and they would donate that meat, and so he would go.
He also mentioned, though, that if a customer were to be like, take that package to the register and they couldn't afford it or whatever the reason was, and they put it back, they
could put it back.
They couldn't like put it back on the shelf.
Right,
They
so-
had to like throw it out.
So if a customer went and filled their cart up with meat or whatever or food, and then they got to the register and they couldn't afford it, according to him, he says that Walmart could not put it back into the meat. So let's just say, for instance, you and I went to the grocery store, right? And you wanted some chicken and whatever, and we go to the register, and they be like, okay, that's $75, but I only have $50, and I decide, well, I don't want any of the meat. So the meat that I don't want, according to the documentary, I don't know if this is true, Walmart cannot take that meat and put it back into the freezer so someone else can get it. So they apparently have to either take it to the back or put it somewhere so they can identify it as meat that needs to be removed from the store. And so what they would do is they would go and get that meat, and that they would donate it and get, it looked like quite a bit of meat, right?
It was a lot. There was buckets of meat.
Like buckets, salami, like hamburgers, steaks, I don't know what else. And they would feed that to the animals. But part of the problem was is that some of the workers there would take what meat they want first before they give it to the animals. So he would use that to feed the animals because apparently, according to them, and of course I don't work there, they said it cost $60,000 to $70,000 to feed the tigers there because he had 270, and that was a
A
month.
month, yeah.
$60,000 to $70,000 a month to
It
feed the
was
tigers.
minimum 10,000. Minimum was 10,000 to feed the tigers.
Right. That's a lot of money though.
Yeah, he said that it cost like $250,000, or no, 3/4 of $1,000,000 to feed them yearly.
That's a lot of money.
It's because he had a lot of tigers.
But towards the end, he could not afford the food for the animals. Because the guy was like, we only have like 4 buckets of meat to feed these fucking animals.
Yeah, and then he was like, "There's chicken coming." I don't know if
It wasn't
they
enough.
never really like.
It was not enough. The guy was so pissed. The guy who was the manager who really cared about the animals, he was really pissed about that. They didn't have
They
enough.
mentioned that like, oh, it was expensive, but they never really like said, oh, we weren't able to feed these animals like these days, you know.
They had no money. He
But
owed
they
the man
never-
he owed the lady,
But they
according to
ne-
him, the bitch in Florida, $1 million.
But they never like mentioned that,
True.
like how bad it was, you know.
True. All right. Now, can we talk about Travis for a hot second?
R.I.P. Travis.
R.I.P. Travis. Okay, Davion, do you know who Travis is?
The one that shot himself.
All right, explain to the people who he is first, and then tell them what happened.
Wasn't he the ex-husband of
Yeah, he was-
Joe?
Yeah, so he
Because
married. Remember,
Joe-
he married. There was 3 people who married at the same time.
Yeah, because Joe, he wanted meth and then like drugs, and Joe said that he would get them for him if he married him. So he married him, and then they were married, and then
I think he provided that from the beginning. Like that's one of the only reasons why he kept him around.
Well, I don't know that to be true. I wasn't there. I didn't talk to
I know that.
Travis, but
Thanks.
and then Travis
No one can.
felt like he wasn't getting like the attention from everyone that he wanted, so then he went and talked to the dude working at the back office.
which was the campaign manager.
Yeah.
He was campaign manager for the presidential election as well as the governor election.
And then he pointed like a Ruger or something at him, but he said it wasn't loaded.
Mhm.
And then he put it to his face. I mean his head, and apparently it was loaded, and then it just went off.
And the video shows it. Well,
Not
you
him,
it
but-
doesn't show the suicide. It shows the light of the gun being shot,
And the campaign.
and the campaign manager is watching
His
him
reaction.
kill himself. And all the campaign manager doing is like have his hand on his face, like, oh my fucking God, this didn't happen. But then he says, I thought he was playing games because he always plays games.
And he said it wasn't loaded.
I think that was just like something he was just describing how Travis was though, because he said it himself. He would go up to people and like point the gun, this and that.
To
Like
wake them up.
that's kind of like he was, you know.
Y-
But
But no,
at the
yes,
same, I feel like Travis had like mental health issues.
I think he had attention issues.
Mm,
No,
all
but
those drugs had to have messed with his head, cause from the beginning, I still strongly believe that like Joe provided all those drugs for him for him
That's
to sit around.
manipulation.
Yeah, cause he said it himself. He was like he was messing around with girls while being married.
Well, he didn't say that. The other people on the
Yeah,
thing were saying that. But he could have been bi.
he could have been, but
he didn't. Didn't they say that he
it's
didn't
like he
him?
had no.
Who didn't like him?
Travis didn't like Joe. He was just in it to get the drugs.
I think what they were saying is that he was not known to be into guys. I think that's what was the thought process, and that he was messing around with all the girls who worked there. And so was the other husband with no teeth, John.
John, yeah.
Yeah.
And he ended up leaving him before this whole thing.
Yeah, but
happened.
John
he
was
the first one to go.
But John was with him for almost 16 years or 11 years.
Yeah, I think it was 11 years. And then he was the first one to go, and he impregnated the secretary of the zoo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really fuck with John though.
I think he was also like, he might have like actually liked Joe in the beginning, and then all this shit started going down, and he was like, he's batshit crazy, so he wanted to go.
But I do want to go back to Travis. Fuck John, because he's still alive. Travis was only 23 years old, and he took his life, and I just think that's sad.
It is sad. I don't think he, in my
Meant to
opinion,
do it?
I don't think he meant to do it, honestly. I think he,
Maybe a disfire or something.
yeah.
Discharge. Because he said it wasn't loaded, so he must have not thought it was loaded.
I don't know. I disagree. I think he meant to. I think he was in a place where, because remember that point where, do y'all remember that point where he went and was punching the truck?
Yeah, but I feel like if he wanted to do it, he would have done it way
I know,
before that.
but
I don't think he would have done it in front of the cameras.
but
Yeah.
he wasn't in front of the cameras. It wasn't
he knew
it
that
wasn't
there was a camera in there.
No. He knew that cameras was in that facility, but notice he did it in the spot where the camera wasn't showing. Allegedly. Now, maybe they didn't want to show the spot where the camera showed because it was gruesome. I don't know. But that camera was the camera that was actually in the manager's office or whatever.
Either way, I feel like all those drugs messed with his head. He had mental issues.
Okay, but do y'all remember the part where he went and go punch the truck?
Yeah.
What did he say after that?
That he never listened to him.
Exactly. So I felt
He
like
didn't have
I
the
felt like
attention.
I felt like he wasn't. He felt like he was not receiving the attention that he needed from Joe.
He wasn't being heard.
Right, exactly. And he was in a state of depression. He felt like he couldn't leave the facility. He felt like
It's not that he felt like he just couldn't leave the facility. Joe was basically like keeping him there. Cause they even said it. Travis would like ask them, "Oh, let me go out with you guys, this and that," and he just couldn't.
I don't know. What you think, Davion?
I'm still saying he was only in it because he was getting the drugs he wanted.
Exactly.
And he felt like he needed them.
So you don't think he really liked Joe?
No.
Okay, can I just say this? All those people look kind of dirty and nasty.
They do.
Like they don't clean and wash on a regular
No, for
basis.
sure, and
Okay.
Because all they do is play with animals.
I'm not trying to be rude, but
No,
they just
it's-
look nasty.
I don't think it. I just think that the whole zoo itself, they said it at one point, they didn't have running water in the trailers, they didn't have AC, like, it's just dirty.
All right, so how did Joe, the exotic, end?
In prison?
And he just ended off
Why is he in prison?
22 years for hiring a hitman to kill,
Carol.
yeah.
Okay, do you think he actually did that though?
Yeah.
I think he.
You think he did it?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
Because he wanted her dead. He even said he would do it himself.
I
Okay.
think he talked about it. He was like big game, like, oh, I want her dead. Even with the whole Jeff thing, like, if anything, Jeff was more invested in figuring out like the small details about it. And I don't know if it was true or not, where Joe was just in his office minding his own business while Jeff was investigating all this, like finding the trail where she rode her bike on by herself every morning, this and that, and I don't know, I just feel like Jeff had a lot to do with everything, but it doesn't get like portrayed as that, just because Joe did so much fucked up shit.
Okay, so I think I kind of agree with the people in the documentary who knew Joe. I just don't think Joe was smart enough to pull off like this whole hire for hire murder bullshit. I felt like he talked about it a lot, and he talked about it for the point of publicity to try to pull away spotlight from her to put on his whatever he was doing. And I felt like Jeff came into the mix and created a situation and actually tried to implicate him for the purpose of taking over the zoo. I felt like Jeff Lowe is a low down motherfucker. I feel like he cannot trust a person like that. I feel like he had no intentions of coming in and try to help Joe savage the lawsuit or at least get a leg up in the lawsuit. He saw him as someone weak and needed some help. He saw someone as who didn't have the financial means to withstand the lawsuit because Carol had already sunk in $1 million in her attorney fees alone. Like, that's just paying the lawyers to litigate the case. She already paid $1 million.
Well, she had the money because she killed her husband.
Well, I think she killed her husband, but putting that aside, okay, she got the money to do that. And he saw him as weak, and so he leapt in. He came up with the scheme with the whole purpose of taking over the zoo. That's what I think, personally.
For sure.
Like,
Jeff is, again, a con artist. They said it in the show. He was like...
multiple times. Even the reporter was
yeah.
like, we don't know why Jeff wasn't, like, arraigned or charged with something. Do you remember that part at least, Devian?
I think it was, like, towards the end. But Jeff is just a sketchy motherfucker, like...
Yeah, it was a lot. Okay, so this was a lot of information. I know we sound like we were all over the place, but that's because the documentary really was what, Davion?
Good.
It was good, but all
over the place.
All over the And so us trying to talk about it and this dynamic made it seem like we were all over the place, but you should watch it. It is called Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. All on Netflix. So I want to take the time to thank Davion, Christian, for coming to the cafe and talking, having some drinks. At least you, Christian, because you're over the age of 21. You, Davion, for coming in and participating, actually watching the film, even though you fell asleep on parts of it. And so until next time, make sure that you continue to drink, listen, and converse. Peace and
Run with my money.
Oh yeah, we still getting our paychecks after this.
this bitch is crazy.
And you gotta come out.
These hoes crazy. What? I think that went well.
I felt that after I was like, alright, run my money, and then it was quiet. First, like, I was thought you were gonna be like, why the fuck did you run it? And then you came in and you were like, oh yeah, we're getting paid for this. I was like, I'm not the only one who's good, but I got it. Better run my money. 2 hours of my time.
It went better than yesterday.
It was really fun, actually.
Alright, you go take the wire now.
After I said, I need to read. Oh.